The 2005 MLB Draft, widely considered to be one of the top drafts in recent baseball history, with multiple MVPs and many All-Stars. But what about those top picks who didn't quite pan out? In this video, we'll look at the top 10 picks from the 2005 draft, as well as steals from later rounds. With the 10th pick in the 2005 draft, the Tigers selected Cameron Maybin, an outfielder from T.C. Roberson High School in Asheville, North Carolina. The 18-year-old stood 6'3", weighed 200 pounds, and scouts awed at his bat speed. Maybin flew through the Tigers' minor leagues and saw playing time in 2007 as a 20-year-old. However, in December of that same year, the Tigers traded him to the Marlins to acquire future Triple Crown winner Miguel Cabrera. Maybin spent the next 3 years with the Marlins, struggling to find footing in the big leagues, before he was eventually traded in 2010 to the Padres. With the Padres, he found solid playing time and stole 40 bases in 2011. However, with no power and a sub-250 average, he wasn't quite cutting it. In 2015, Maybin was once again on the move, this time to the Braves, in exchange for Craig Kimbrell and Melvin Upton Jr. The Braves then traded him back to the Tigers, where Maybin had a breakout season in 2016, hitting to an .801 OPS. After that season, the Tigers traded him to the Angels, and after being signed and released by multiple squads in the 2017 and 2018 seasons, things weren't looking great for the then 32-year-old. However, in 2019, Maybin stepped up for an injury-riddled Yankees team and hit .285 average with an .858 OPS. Maybin has now found his way back to the team that drafted him and signed with the Tigers this past winter. A consistent major league player, but never an all-star. Probably not what the Tigers were looking for with the 10th overall pick. With the 9th pick in the 2005 MLB Draft, the New York Mets selected Mike Pelfrey, a right-handed pitcher from Wichita State University. Standing 6'7", Pelfrey's high-velocity fastball caught scouts' attention. Pelfrey didn't even spend a year down in the minors, as he saw time with the Mets in 2006. A consistent number 4 or 5 starter for the Mets for the next few seasons, but Pelfrey never found that high potential, although he did win 15 games in 2010. He spent 2013 through 2015 bouncing up and down through the minor leagues with the Twins, 2016 with the Tigers, and 2017 with the White Sox. That 2017 season saw him have a 3-12 record with a 5.93 ERA. With a career 68 and 103 record and a 4.68 ERA, Mike Pelfrey called it a career after the 2017 campaign. He went on to become the pitching coach at his alma mater in Wichita State, Kansas. With the 8th pick in the 2005 MLB Draft, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays selected Wade Townsend, a right-handed pitcher out of Rice University. Having been the number 8 overall pick by the Orioles the year prior but not signing, it was clear Townsend had talent. Townsend's career ended up being riddled with injuries, and him became one of the biggest busts of the draft. After a rough 12 games in the 2005 minor leagues, Townsend missed all of 2006 due to injury, and he underwent Tommy John surgery. The next 4 seasons were spent in the minors, never making it above Double-A. Townsend called it a career with a 7-21 minor league record and a 5.58 ERA. However, it's not all bad news for Townsend, as he has moved on from baseball and become a professional poker player. With the 7th pick in the 2005 MLB Draft, the Colorado Rockies selected Troy Tulowitzki, a shortstop out of Long Beach State. Scouts compared him to the 2004 American League Rookie of the Year Bobby Crosby. The biggest name thus far, Tulowitzki was a 5-time All-Star, 2-time Gold Glove Award winner, and 2-time Silver Slugger. The top prospect saw his first glimpse of the majors in 2006 and was a full-time starter by 2007, finishing second in the Rookie of the Year voting only to Ryan Braun. The next 5-year stretch saw Tulo take off, with 2 top 5 MVP finishes and 4 All-Star selections. An injury held him out for most of the 2012 season, a trend that became all too familiar for Tulowitzki. In 2015, the Rockies traded their 30-year-old star shortstop for another All-Star shortstop, Jose Reyes, from the Toronto Blue Jays. However, injuries plagued Tulo's Blue Jays career, as he barely played 162 games in his 4 seasons combined. In 2019, Tulo signed with the Yankees, but another injury only 5 games into the season, and Tulo called it a career. Troy Tulowitzki was a potential Hall of Fame shortstop, stricken by injuries, ending his career far too soon. With the 6th pick in the 2005 MLB Draft, the Toronto Blue Jays selected Ricky Romero, a left-handed pitcher out of Cal State Fullerton. Scouts saw him as a potential front-end starter with 2 fastballs, a sinker, and a 12-6 curveball. Romero took a few years to develop in the minors, but by 2009 Romero had earned himself a spot in the rotation. Romero won over 10 games in 2009 through 2011, including a career-high 15 wins in 2011, which earned him his first and only All-Star appearance. But all of a sudden in 2012, Romero fell downhill and quickly. He started all 32 games, but due to command problems from 2 torn quad tendons, he led the league with 105 walks. That next season, Romero pitched only 7 innings and gave up 9 runs. He was then sent down and would never get the call back up. He continued to pitch in the minors until 2017, when he finally called it quits. A one-time promising pitcher that was never able to recover from his injuries. With the 5th pick in the 2005 MLB draft, the Milwaukee Brewers selected Ryan Braun, a third baseman out of the University of Miami. Scouts viewed him as a 5-tool player and compared him to Aaron Boone. As I already mentioned, Braun started his career off hot, winning the 2007 National League Rookie of the Year. Braun would go on to make 5 straight All-Star Game appearances and win the 2011 National League MVP, hitting .332 with 33 homers and 33 stolen bases. However, controversy soon clouded his MVP campaign as he admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs. Braun was suspended for half of the 2013 season, but proved he could still play as he made his 6th All-Star Game in 2015. Ryan Braun has been one of the most consistent bats in the 2010s, and if he can keep performing at an above-average level, he may have a Hall of Fame case. However, with how stingy the Hall of Fame voters are with PEDs, it's a long shot. Still a 6-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, and a National League MVP, Braun has lived up to the hype of being a top 5 pick. With the 4th pick in the 2005 MLB draft, the Washington Nationals selected Ryan Zimmerman, a third baseman out of the University of Virginia. Known as Mr. National, Zimmerman was the first pick of the organization after its move to DC. Scouts immediately took notice of his bat. His line drive stroke and gap-type power were stunning. Zimmerman was one of the rare players who get to see Major League time in the same year they're drafted, as the 20-year-old played in 20 games in 2005. After hitting .397 in those 20 games, Zimmerman got a starting job and never turned back. The slugger would make his first All-Star game in 2009, hitting 33 home runs with 106 RBIs and winning a Gold Glove at third base. Injuries have started to take a toll on Zimmerman, as he's only played in 100 or more games in a season twice since 2014. However, a transition to first base has helped keep his electric bat in the lineup. Zimmerman, 35 now, enters the 2020 season, if there is one, at 1,784 hits in his career. It's very likely that he could become a member of the 2,000-hit 300 home run club, which would live up to that number 4 selection. Also, after 15 years in the Nationals organization, he helped win their very first World Series in the 2019 season. With the 3rd pick in the 2005 MLB draft, the Seattle Mariners selected Jeffrey Clement, a catcher out of the University of Southern California. Clement's intensity and strength impressed the Mariners scouts enough to take him number 3 overall. Clement performed well in the minors his first 4 seasons and saw time with the big league club in 2007 and 2008. However, Clement was never able to find success in the majors. Clement was traded to the Pirates in the middle of the 2009 season. Clement made appearances with the Pirates in 2010 and 2012, but again could never find footing. After a rough 2013 season spent all in the minors, Clement called it a career. He ended up returning to USC and finishing up school and is living happily with his wife and 4 children. With the 2nd pick in the 2005 MLB draft, the Kansas City Royals selected Alex Gordon, a third baseman out of the University of Nebraska. Gordon was a good hitter with solid power, but was more known for his cannon of an arm and above-average defense. The Royals ended up converting Gordon to the outfield in 2011, and Gordon quickly became one of the best defensive players in all of baseball. Gordon held his own at the plate as well, keeping an average above 270 and hitting 15 to 20 home runs every year. However, Gordon's offense took a nosedive in 2016 as he batted with an OPS below 700. This downhill slide continued in 2017 and 2018, but a solid 741 OPS in 2019 is a decent sign. Gordon became a face for the Royals and even helped them secure the 2015 World Series. The Royals moving Gordon to the outfield proved their scouting report correct. He had a cannon. Although his offensive numbers may not be what's expected from a number 2 overall pick, his 7 Gold Gloves and his 1 Platinum Glove prove his value. With the first pick in the 2005 MLB Draft, the Arizona Diamondbacks selected Justin Upton, a shortstop out of Great Bridge High School in Virginia. Upton was viewed as a five-tool player, and scouts compared him to Edgar Renteria. Upton saw Major League time at age 19 in 2007, and was a starter by 2008 and an All-Star by 2009. The Diamondbacks didn't love Upton's fielding at shortstop, so they moved him to the outfield where he learned to be a pretty solid defender. Upton continued to be a steady force in the Diamondbacks lineup, but the Diamondbacks would trade him in the winter of 2013 to the Atlanta Braves. 2 solid seasons with 25-plus homers for Upton and the Braves, but the Braves would trade him to the Padres in December of 2014. Upton didn't let this faze him, as he made his third All-Star game with the Padres in 2015. The 28-year-old would then test free agency in 2016 and sign a 6-year deal with the Tigers for $22 million per season. In 2017, Upton put together his best season, hitting to a .273 average with 35 home runs and an OPS above 900. However, the Tigers were rebuilding and shipped Upton to the Angels in the middle of that season. Upton's first 2 seasons in LA haven't been quite up to par with his earlier years. However, even as a 13-year veteran, Upton is still only 32 years old and has time to continue and grow. A 4-time All-Star and 3-time Silver Slugger, Upton has shown flashes of greatness, but hasn't been the MVP player you hope to get with a number 1 overall pick in a draft. When you look at the top 10 from the 2005 MLB draft class, you see consistency. 3 of the players have spent 10-plus years on the teams that drafted them. Although there are a few swing and misses in the top 10, a majority of the players taken are All-Stars and Gold Glovers. It's not hard to see why this top 10 is considered one of the best in recent memory. However, there are obviously players teams missed that other teams snatched up later on in the draft. Even in the first round, you saw steals. 3-time All-Star Jay Bruce was selected, as well as former Boston star outfielder Jacoby Ellsbury, and even 2013 National League MVP Andrew McCutchen. In the second round, 2-time All-Star pitcher Clay Buchholz was taken, as well as 2018 All-Star Jed Lowry. In the third round, 12-year Yankee Brett Gardner was selected, and all the way in the 7th round, 4-time All-Star Michael Brantley was taken. In the 8th round, 2018 World Series MVP Steve Pearce was taken, and in round 28, 3-time World Series champion Sergio Romo was selected. Hey guys, really hope you enjoyed this video. It's something I've really never done before, but really wanted to do and really worked at. So if you could leave a like and subscribe, this took me a lot more time than the other videos I've put out there, but I think it came out pretty well. Comment below what draft class you want me to do next, and I'll see you guys later.